Caleb Clark for CNN iReport, Brattleboro, Vermont, September 3rd. Senator Patrick Leahy is coming to where I work. That's why I actually have a suit coat on. I don't normally wear that to work. I work for Marlboro College Graduate School here in the Marlboro College Graduate Center behind me. And the Organic Trade Association is moving into the 4th floor. And Leahy is coming to announce, I believe, some grants and involvement he's had in legislation in the past, right to our little school here in little Brattleboro, Vermont. I'm keeping an eye out for him now. And interestingly, right after the press conference, Senator Leahy is going across the street to the Riverview Cafe, where for our monthly art walk, he is having a photography exhibit, which is a hobby of his. And I believe it's pictures that he's taken in and around the Senate for years. Very interesting. I just saw his car pull in here.
Hello, everyone. Can I have your attention? This is really a momentous occasion for the Organic Trade Association.
The sound is also really good up at the podium because I'm experimenting with using an audio recorder separate from the camera. And I put one up at the podium before anyone got there and just hit record.
The Organic Trade Association is celebrating its 25th year. So this is very exciting for us in this year to come to Vermont. We do have a Washington, D.C. office, as the Senator well knows. We feel very strongly that our strength is out here where the organic agriculture base is. Vermont was so welcoming to us and provided a grant from the Vermont Economic Progress Council that really made it possible for us to make this move. We are thrilled today to have Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy with us. And as you know, that he was chairman of the Senate Agriculture Committee, and he wrote and passed the Organic Foods Production Act as part of the 1990 Farm Bill. I can't believe it. We're already working on the next Farm Bill. It seems like we just finished the last one and we're already working on the next one. He is the person that you go to on organic issues in Washington, and he has helped this industry grow when it was growing at a rate of 22% a year, and when it, as they say, fell off a cliff and only was growing at a rate of 5% a year. So, but I am happy to report, Senator, that we are back on the upswing in the growth, and it's looking really positive for the organic industry as it continues to evolve and expand.
Thank you. Christine, I appreciate what you said. It's nice to see you home. It's nice to have you in Windham County, which is home for you. I have to go up the road a little bit, and fortunately you're going the right direction. You go the other direction, of course you leave the state. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that the Organic Trade Association is going to have its home here. I see Secretary Albee. Roger, I've known forever and ever. We've worked together on so many agricultural matters, and Roger, this has to be a pretty happy day. No, all of you. Fred Kenny, who worked for me a long time ago in Washington, so I thought maybe I might know the rudiments about being a senator. I could be on my own, and came here. Ellen Lovell was my chief of staff, the same thing. She just sort of kicked me out and said, here, I got to go back and run things at home. And so it's great because, especially in this, I first got the idea of the organic standards and labeling program from Vermonters. And Christine's heard the story before, and Ellen and others certainly know it. And incidentally, I do appreciate seeing a couple of Jerry Garcia ties around here. That's an inside joke. And I'll tell you a story about that afterward. But we put together the 1990 Farm Bill. I remember when we passed that, it was considered by Time Magazine as the most progressive environmental bill of that year. And we're there for President George H.W. Bush, first President Bush, was signing, and they have it on very thick paper, so it's about this high. And he just signs one page, and just for the signing, he leans to me, he whispers, he said, Patrick, you read every page of this? I said, Mr. President, you're the one signing it. I read just about as much of it as you did. And he cracked up. Everybody wanted to know in the press what it was we were laughing about, and today you finally know. But back then it was considered a crunchy program of some sort, then it was a corporate, then it was all points apart. Well, when I first started writing this, and really did come from talking to farmers here in Vermont saying, we're willing to do these standards, we're willing to do what's right, but please set some national standards so that people want to compete. We'll compete with anybody, provided it's a level playing field, provided everybody else has to follow the rules. And now we walk through the aisles, any grocery store in the country, you see organic products, and the Organic Trade Association, their dedication to expand this market. You folks go and you watch that. And it's like the old underwear ad, it doesn't say Hanes, so I say it's a Hanes. It doesn't say organic until it is organic. And Tom Berry and Chuck Ross and John Tracy from my office are wondering, where was that in the talking points? Well, we've got to get back to the talking points, we do have a White House that supports organic agriculture. Our last farm bill had record funding for organics. The Deputy Secretary of Agriculture at USDA, Kathleen Merrigan, was working for me and led the efforts in writing that part of the bill. And in fact, the 20th anniversary of the Organic Farm Bill is this month, and I will put on, at least temporarily, my old hat as chairman, and I will chair a Senate Agriculture Committee hearing on September 15th to hear about organic agriculture's future. I must tell you, it's going to be a good hearing. And so I look at this, I look what you've done here, and I think of Marlborough College. Let me just brag a little bit on Ellen McCulloch Lovell, the president of it. I mean, I knew her when I had hair and hers wasn't quite as great. But I know how hard she worked when she was in Washington. I know how hard she works here. And I think that her vision and her influence and Marlborough's influence under her leadership is going to be helpful to this movement. And Fred, what you and the Vermont Economic Progress Council has done is so important. You're making sure that it's not a one-stop thing, that something lasts afterward, and that there will be not only jobs, but it's going to make everything better. So with all that, I will skip the other talking points, but just to say this makes me so happy because those of you who were there 20 years ago know what we had to fight to get this through. We know I remember Jesse Helms telling the former chairman who wouldn't let it go forward when he was chairman, and when I became chairman we could, telling me, well, that's a bitching. You won't have $10,000 worth of business. What are you doing all this time? It's how many billions now? And so it is worthwhile. And so thank you all. David, thank you for the time. And it's great to be home.
Thank you so much, Senator Leahy. You know what? We are just thrilled to officially be your constituent. So now we are going to have the official signing.
As a president of Marlborough College, I'm just so happy to greet everybody here. This is one of these very rare times in life, and one of these wonderful times in life when your life comes around in a circle. And I said to the senator and to Marcel earlier, it's like a Leahy family reunion. So a warm welcome to you, Senator, and to Marcel, Secretary Albee, Fred Kenny. We worked together for so many years. Jeff Lewis, Christine Bushway and Dave Gagnon and so many other people who have brought us to this day. And Senator Leahy remembers, I think, when we started the Marlborough College Graduate Center in 1997, and the whole idea was innovation. We were going to be an incubator space. We were going to provide new ideas that would enhance the local community and the society as a whole. And back then the idea was innovation in the internet. And now the really exciting ideas are coming to us from people who are finding ways to make our society more sustainable, healthier, and more community-oriented. And these are the very characteristics that are shared by your many, many members at the Organic Trade Association. So the Organic Trade Association actually fits the Marlborough College Graduate School mission so beautifully, because we've evolved programs in MBA and managing for sustainability, in healthcare administration, and even in nonprofit management that you can contribute to. And Senator Leahy, I do remember all those, since it's an anniversary time, I do remember when we were being called crunchy, and very proud of it as devoted Vermonters.
They never called me a long-haired.
No, I got that label. But when we were working on the legislation, you really saw, you had the vision, and you saw the possibilities, you saw the trend, and how important it was going to be to Vermont and to the future of Vermont agriculture, as Secretary Albee has also seen. So a few other thank yous. I want to thank Dan Cotter, Marlborough College's Director of Plant Operations, for his part in making this lease possible, along with Dave. Richard Glazier, our new Dean of Faculty and of Graduate Education, and Sean Conley, the Associate Dean of the Graduate School, because they're going to do all they can to reinforce the important work of OTA educationally. We're excited that this is your headquarters, but we hope our relationship develops into much more than a tenant relationship as we work together for the future of Vermont and the country. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here.